Fucking stupid fucking shit crashed. Stream 2, yeah, my shit crashed. Sometimes it just happens. Also, hi, Raccoon. I'm glad you came to the SciTube yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I'll do it again in a month. Fuck me on repeat, didn't know if it was on my end. It's usually on my end, don't worry about that. Thanks for bearing with me. It fucking sucks when it happens, I hate it too. next month as well. Nice. Sick. It'll probably be a little earlier. I don't know where in the world you are, but I have a decent amount of people in Europe. And we started at like 1 a.m. European time, so it was tough for some of them to make it. Even though the majority of, according to analytics, the majority of my viewers are from North America, but I don't know if my site is the same. And some of my best online friends are Euros, so I can do a lot more to accommodate them. Even though a lot of them are also NEETs, who are the kind of people who can watch at 1 a.m. There we go. Yeah, nice. Well, thank you for making the time, regardless of it being late. Part of the reason was I actually made a mistake in planning. I thought that May 2nd was Friday. So, I thought it was a Friday, right? So I wanted to do a Friday night thing, because I figured, oh, I won't be off stream, and I won't be off work until like 6 p.m. here. So I'll do it a couple hours later. But I actually just made a mistake in planning, and I put it on a Saturday when I thought it was Friday. But Saturday is probably better. Yeah, I do wonder how much, my YouTube analytics, because it always says, oh, I have like 70% viewers from North America, which is, kind of what you expect for a video in English. But I do wonder how much of that is not reflective of how many people are actually actively engaged with the channel, because the majority of views are probably people who watch and then don't interact with me or my channel too on too deep of a basis. Hope y'all can hear me, by the way. Hope the music isn't too loud. Let me know if it is. In fact, let me check real quick. Just my audio levels. Okay, yeah, we're good. I could probably turn this down even a little more, actually. That's probably good. I'll practice a little more and then get into some attempts. I haven't played this in almost a week, probably, man. Hope I'm not stuck on fucking Ratlin for hours again. Hi, Alf Rules. Yeah, my stream died. I'm back now, though. Train album? Do you mean train as in Coltrane, or Trance album and you mistyped? Because my favorite John Coltrane album is Ascension. Lunatic? Yes, I am. Go big or go home. I don't really mean that. Play Toho on whatever difficulty you like. I'm not an elitist about that. Just actually play it. Coltrane? Yeah, Ascension. None of the others are even close in my opinion. Although I do like I do like Meditations. Crazy about the Coltrane or about the Lunatic? Because I don't know how you could think anything is close to Ascension, but very harsh. I mean, that's the appeal, right? I mean, one of my favorite jazz albums is fucking Machine Gun by Brooksman, so I love that shit. Someday I'll have a full archive of my Rate Your Music ratings on my site. But it's already taking me ages to get my films up there, and I have like, what, maybe 3,000 movies rated on there, while I have like 10,000 plus albums, so it's gonna take a while. I might try to limit it to albums like I feel are of consequence somehow. But then all the ratings would just be like 5 and 4 for a while. Nice. I like harsh music, although the older I get, the less I can deal with like the super harsh noise shit like Merzbow. Which is ironic because my main username Amlux is named after Merzbow. But that shit's a little too much for me these days. But like harsh like jazz, free jazz shit, and power electronics, death industrial, that shit I fucking love. I'll look at your comments again after I beat this fucking bitch. Or reset. But hopefully beat this stupid cunt. Okay. Favorite Miles? I haven't listened to as much Miles Davis as I probably should have. I just know some of the famous albums, and I guess my favorite is Bitches Brew. I mean, kind of obvious answer, but I think it's the best. Hold on. There we go. Fuck you. Alice in Chains. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't know what it is. I like gloomy kind of music, but I've never been a fan of grunge. So I've never been much of a fan of Alice in Chains or Nirvana or whatever. I respect them, though, if that makes sense. Because they have a very defined, kind of unique style. It just doesn't really do it for me. Isn't quite my favorite atmosphere, I guess. Argentinian music? I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. There's probably some metal band who's from Argentina that I like. I've listened to so much metal from, like, every country. I think there was a funeral doom band called Fungal Stream or something like that, who were from Argentina, who were good. But I can't remember if it was Argentina or Uruguay or it was some South American country they were from. Muchacha Ojos de Papel by Almendra. Beautiful song. No, I haven't even heard of that. Also, hi, Chum. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Shit. Fuck me. This is reset worthy. It's okay. First run of the day. Gonna... Spinetta, song is 10 of 10. Okay. Alright, let me, since you mentioned Argentine music, let me look at my Rate Your Music profile and see what bands from Argentina I like. I had a period where I listened to a lot of fucking, like folk music from around the world. Not really what I listen to that much these days. But I had a period where I would listen to, like, Argentine tango and stuff. But let's see what I like. There's a electroacoustic musician named Oscar Bazan who I like. There's a guitar guy named Agustin Barrios who's good. There's another swing guitar guy named Oscar Aleman. Oh, there's a jazz guy named Gato Barbieri who did some good music. And there's a prog band named Alas who are good. Fungoid Stream, that's what they're called. There's a funeral doom band called Fungoid Stream who are really good. There's another... Several of them Chum, I think, turned me on to, actually. There's an album called Annabellas by the band Boo Boo, which is a really good prog album. And there's another band named Crucis, or Crucis. Oh yeah, Boo Boo, there you go. Astor Piazzolla. Okay. I don't know if I know that one. But yeah, Fungoid Stream. That was a great album. I only heard one album by them, though. Yeah, I don't always pay attention to where musicians are from either. That's why I had to go to Rate Your Music to remember which ones are from Argentina. Unless it's like, if it's kind of folk music where it's really obvious, like, you know, folk songs of Argentina or folk songs of, I don't know, Romania or wherever else, then I'll remember where they're from, obviously, because it's kind of important to the music. Gotcha. That's true, yeah. But metal is universal. Oh shit. Oh, fuck. I fucked that up. Also, Chum, you were, hold on. Metal is homogenous, and that where a band is can very rarely be discerned or sound. This concept of scenes that requires having pre-knowledge. Yeah. And there are some bands who will try to, like, incorporate their folk music into it. But normally, I think those bands are gimmicky and sound like shit. There's a few exceptions. Nocturnal Mortem has a lot of, like, Ukrainian folk music influences, and I think they actually sound really good. And yeah, scenes are different. Also, Chum, you were Tuhu friend in the SciTube last night, right? That was really fun. I appreciate you stopped by. Okay, good. I assumed so, I just needed to double check. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and we'll do it again June 6th, probably. And I'm gonna start it a lot earlier, so should be more convenient for Euros. Before then, I'll see if I can maybe make like some kind of poll or sampling where we can agree on what would be find something that everyone would enjoy. But of course, like usual, don't go out of your way to if you're busy. Rants for kids, you're not wrong. But yeah, watching that made me want to play some rants, finally. But there's already so many VNs I have in the pipeline that I'd rather play first that I don't know when I'll have the time to. I will be playing more Higurashi today. Really exciting part of the story. We're staying up anyway, that's good. Watch Rance, I think that's Kazuma when he's older and drunk on power. No, I agree. I didn't think you were taking it that way. Yeah, Konosuba is good. I think I remember talking about it with you when you first watched it, and I kind of agreed that it was good, but it kind of like it went on a little long and got worse as it went on, whereas the beginning was really, really strong in Konosuba. I remember feeling that way about it, although I still thought it was solid on the whole. And I mean, the girls are obviously enough of a reason to justify it. There we go. Okay. There we go. Oh, what the fuck, man? I hoarded onto my bombs instead of going... Oh shit, I didn't even need to bomb there. Oh well. Anyway, what I was saying was I hoarded onto my bombs last time rather than bombing for resources here. But I'm not sure... Spoiled on the Mystery Higurashi, Chapter 8. Yeah, that is too bad. That said, the anime should not exist. Anime does often do a disservice to VNs. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it should not exist, but it can be... They can have a detrimental role. I'm not exactly the best guy to say that, though, because I'm fuck this, by the way, I'm resetting. I'm really bad at watching anime and not reading manga. Even though I think manga is the superior medium 9 times out of 10. I will probably show the anime to my 2 IRL friends, because they're not normie tier, don't get me wrong. They're enough that we watch anime and play games together, and they have pretty good taste, but if I'm gonna be honest, they're not gonna read Higurashi. Which is sad. But, well, we'll see. I do, with those friends, speaking of which, one of those friends recently got me and the other friend to watch the first two parts of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime, which I was never really interested in, but honestly, it's pretty good. We have like 2 episodes left of part 2, and honestly, I am enjoying it quite a bit, even though I don't know if enough to watch the whole series because it's very long. But I like it, and honestly, there's a lot of in-jokes and references to JoJo and other media that it does feel good to understand. There's a lot in Toho, for sure. But yeah, 100 hours. My friend is going to hopefully play Sayano Uta soon. The uncucked version, obviously. He recently downloaded that and wanted to give it a shot, so... I think, you know, it's kind of like, I don't think he's been spoiled on all of Sayano Uta, but he knows the basic story behind it. I think many years ago he maybe read it for 30 minutes, like just the opening scene, and couldn't get into it, but now he appreciates VNs more. Honestly, he is better than me with manga, though. Like, he's a guy who, it's hard for me to get him to read a visual novel, but he's much better than me with manga. Like, he reads it more than me, which I respect. What's the best movie ever? Death Warrior. We watched it last night. My favorite is Pastoral to Die in the Country, but that's just me. I have one online friend who loved Doki Doki Literature Club, but refuses to play Japanese and even only loves Clannad Steins Gate. That must be infuriating. How does Tsubaibi compare to Higu? I actually talked with Chum a bit about this. I think there are some similarities, but it's kind of hard to get into detail without spoiling them both. I would say both of them kind of retell the same events from different perspectives, and like there's a lot of richness to that, and that effect is kind of similar, I would say. Other than that, they're pretty different. Subarashi Kihibi is a lot more philosophical, and abstract, while Higu is a lot more of a straightforward mystery. But I don't mean that in a bad way. Also, I would say Subarashiki Hibi has better artwork overall, but Higu has more appealing characters, even though both are really good. Wooshy philosophical. That's a way to put it. And yes, both are elaborate in similar ways, although I would say Higurashi is maybe more... what's the word for it? Democratic, in that, like, it's about a community and kind of has more characters, whereas Suba Hibi has a lot of lore, you could say, but it's mostly maybe like 5 or 6-ish characters who they really go into depth with. In some ways, I actually would say that Suba Hibi has more characters who are kind of like, what do you call it, cardboard cutouts than Higurashi. Even though I don't think they're necessarily bad for that way, but there's maybe a little more stockness to some of the characters in Suba Hibi, despite the fact that it's a lot more surreal and abstract. But I guess it kind of, it goes with the territory. Suba Hibi is set in Tokyo. It's a big city. I think it's Tokyo. And Higurashi is this tiny town where everyone knows each other. So I feel like the ensemble cast is a lot more important in Higurashi. Although maybe, we'll see. Maybe I'm forgetting some characters and parts of Subarashiki Hibi because it's been a while. But I think it's mostly a couple main characters who stick out remembering it, like Takuya and Yuki and Sakuro and Kimika. The characters are still likable or not likable in a very good functional way for the story. There's just less... yeah, more singular. Yeah. And yes, I don't want to get in spoilers. Have I played Riven, the sequel of Myst? Yes, it's fantastic. Me and those two IRL friends played it earlier this year. I think it's the best point and click I've played, honestly. Or up there, at least. Also one of the hardest. Probably the hardest I've played. That fucking cipher puzzle with the animal noises was awful. In a good way. Get me out of stage 1, you fucking bitch. How loose and hard to define Dimpa is, but you can definitely tell it's a thing. For sure. I feel like Dimpa is almost... I don't know about what is a modern Dimpa game? Is Dimpa going to be one of those words that's kind of historical, bound to a historical scene? I don't know. Maybe it's still like... Maybe... I just don't know enough good examples of modern Dimpa stuff to say. Didn't feel it was as hard as people said as presentation of the puzzle, which makes people feel that way. When you understand the puzzle are kind of straightforward, I still had to use guides. Yeah, we didn't use any guides, which I'm pretty proud of. But, my god, it was fucking hard. But that was also 3 people together. Much easier to solve when you put 3 heads together than just 1. Twin Peaks as Dimpa? Maybe. One weird thing I have heard, that kind of makes sense, because it's kind of interesting, right? I've heard that Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, the movie, was really, really popular in Japan. Even though I don't think they actually had the Twin Peaks series air on TV over there. Even though I do feel like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Twin Peaks, which I feel like Japanese people would like. They like these stories, as I do, about, like, mysterious small towns that harbor secrets. Kind of like Higurashi. Come back. Over here. Thank you. Okay, don't run into anything. Be patient. Sick. They did actually. There's even a Japanese sub. Would do you mean the Twin Peaks TV series? Because I was actually saying, I could be wrong about that, But I did hear that the movie was really popular, even though, like, it was more popular even with people who didn't know the series. I don't know. But yeah, they like David Lynch a lot over there. I feel like there's a lot of Japanese who kind of like that 1950s Americana feel, and especially when it has, you know, the dark undercurrents like with Lynch. Which of course I like too. Lost Highway is my favorite probably. Let me take a turbo quick piss and I'll be right back. Okay, I stand corrected then. They did air it. I won't repeat that misinfo anymore then. Don't know how popular it was though. Maybe the movie was just like way more popular than the series. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. the music. Yeah, it's nuts. And like, I would even say that UFO is maybe the controversial take. From 6 to 12, I would say this is maybe the weakest OST. Not counting Phantasmagoria of Flower View, because a lot of that is reused. And this is still a great OST, obviously. Six to 12, by the way. Do remember that qualification I gave. I think it's definitely a stronger OST than any of the ones after. Even though I think 10 Desires OST is sometimes overhated. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to rank them. They're all very good. I do think Nazran's song theme is one of the best Stage 1 boss themes. Which is good, because I certainly hear it a hell of a lot. Sure. Yeah, I know some people don't like the Zune trumpets, but I don't know. For me, at least, they didn't really bother me in the same way. Points. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you have a better suggestion there, Chum, but there's a couple blue UFOs there, And I just always find it convenient to go for a blue UFO there. For the screen clear. Fuck. Obviously, I don't, you know, it would be better if I could go for red or green from a survival perspective, but, having the bullets cleared on the screen is also good for a survival perspective. Okay. I don't know, I've just always had a red UFO there, and then... and then just had to wait for that whole little section with those blues floating around. Alright, at least I got to stage 5. Not the best I've ever gotten to get here. Also, what the fuck? Hold on. Forgot to turn off my now playing. We are not listening to Purgatory by Assemblage 23 anymore. Okay. I always fucking die on this opening section. I gotta be really careful. Red UFOs at the start of boss fights. I'm trying to think of cases where that would work for me. I can summon one at the Ichirin mid-boss, but in my case, I don't know, I've just never... It seems like every time I try to do that... Fuck. I don't fill it up, and then it's just a waste.
What should I do? I have murdered a person. Should I kill myself himself or live like nothing has happened? I don't know what to do with my life. Am I in shambles? What the fuck?
Boss fights. Sure. Yeah, I'd have to rethink a lot of my route to do that. Why is that particularly advantageous, you think? Just to get a clear on some harder patterns? Most of the boss fights, I feel like usually their opening patterns aren't some of the hardest ones.
It was a joke. I don't get your jokes at all.
Okay, I'll try a little more and then probably move on to Higurashi. I can't think of a situation that I have, no. Okay. All right. I'll give it a shot here. Supper. All right. I see. Let's see, I might have a chance to do that with Kogasa here. But I mean... maybe I'll... Okay, I have an idea what I might do at the end of the stage. Let me... I'll have to see what my resources look like there and then go for it. like that. Yeah, but let's see. In that particular case, I probably would have been better served trying to get that UFO in the spam section before the boss, I think. Would have gotten more resources. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Anyway, I messed up kind of some stuff here, so this isn't going so good, so I'm going to reset. A little bit more, and then going to take my break and go on to Higurashi. this game. I do too. Okay, fuck this. Okay, I'm gonna pause for 15 minutes and then read some Higurashi. All right. All right. Fuck me, man. Wish I did better at UFO, but it's okay. I haven't played it in like a week. I'm gonna be a little rusty. Hi, Arrow. Also, hey Tom Boost, you asked any ideas on how to overcome burnout and enjoy video games again? That's a hard one, man. I don't think I can tell you. I've never experienced that. Whenever I'm playing a game, I'm just like, is there anything I'd rather be doing right now? And usually there isn't. Like, why I play a game when I'm in the mood to play a game, and I'm usually having a good time while I'm doing it. I guess just analyze what you're playing and see if you're really playing just to have fun and just for you. Or if you're playing to, I don't know, try to make a statement or keep some rank or something else that isn't fun. Get rusty in a week? Seems fucking like it. I don't know. I didn't do terrible today. I wish I was playing better, but maybe some days are just off. You can't force it. It's fine. I made it to show, which is, I mean, what I consider like baseline of what I should be able to do at this point. Okay. Again, I'm going to skip the reading aloud just because I'm kind of sick and my voice isn't great right now. Veganism anniversary this week for me. A year or 2 years, or how long has it been? Turn this down a little. Year. What was the last non-vegan thing you ate? Do you remember that? I hope it was a good one, like your last meal before execution. But maybe at that point it's like, I don't know, hard to enjoy even if it tastes good. That's probably a good sign. It means you're not attached enough to it anymore for it to really be a big deal.
縛りつより定時連絡異常なし。
いつまでも息を潜められるわけはねえんだ。じれずに待て。絶対に出やがる。ところでうちのお姫様はどうした？
I haven't seen a chapter break in some time in Higurashi here, which is normally like, I always try to stop and start around the chapter breaks. Which maybe means that this is running into the end. It feels very final. Feels like a big climax is coming up, but, I mean, you know, I imagine there's still a bit of the story left. I'm enjoying it in either case, so not impatient.
こうなっちまったら穏便に済ませるには監査役を抱き込むほかねえからな。生かして捕らえたのはでかかったぜ。お姫様はいねえし、東京からの電話もねえ。ようやく落ち着いて冷房を浴びられるってもんだ。
隊長、東京から無線です。野村さんからサンサー宛てでなく隊長宛てです。
やれやれ、電話がダメなら無理だ。さて、東京の女王様がこの後に及んで俺に何のお話ですかね。山犬のおこのぎです。どうぞ。
Which Zelda games? I was thinking I'm probably going to start playing Link to the Past soon. Last 2 years I played Majora's Mask and Ocarina for the first time, and I really liked both of them.
私に協力してはくださらない。山犬なんかいらない。
Eating enough beans.
あなたさえいてくれればいいわ。
Hopefully, I see.
山犬には私の心を慰めることなんかできない。あなたの一見無神経な心遣いでしか慰められないってこの数日で分かったわ。
The past. Okay. Don't like salad, so it'll be hard. That would be hard. I like beans more than salads. Salads can be fine, but it's hard for me to... I don't know. Hard for me to enjoy a meal, feel full with a meal without some kind of good grain as a base. Whether that's rice or bread. Like, pile the vegetables on, I'm fine with a bunch of greens, but put it on a bread, put it in a wrap, put it on some rice, something like that.
返事をしてはくれないの。
捕虜は名前と階級と認識番号しか喋っちゃいけないことになってるんでね。
その手錠の鍵持ってないの。ごめんなさい。
いいよ。それを求めたわけじゃないさ。
コーヒー飲む？
遠慮するよ。この状態でトイレの世話になりたくないからね。 僕を殺すしかないの
Pikmin
だ。それも構わないさ。捕らえられた時にすでにその覚悟はできてる。
そうね。私も二郎さんを
feels itchy.
殺すつもりだったから、あなたにその覚悟があって嬉しいわ。
ならよかったよ。
I tend to like my vegetables better if they've been a little cooked.
この覚悟が無駄にならなくて済む。
死にたくないとは思わないの？あなたが私の味方になると誓ってくれれば、私はあなたを死なせずに済むの。上はあなたを生かす価値はないって言ってるけど、そこは私が何とかするから。
上は誰だよ。
知らないわ。私と接触するエージェントは野村と名乗ってるけど、どうせ本名じゃない。私も素性はよく知らないわ。
でも手を組む相手に足ると思う程度には話をしたんだろう。
数度ね、おしゃべりをしただけよ。今にして思うと私を利用したいという魂胆が見え見えだった。でもなぜかあの時は彼女だけが私のことを理解してくれるって、そう思ったのよ。
わかるよ。君に誰かの助けが必要な時期があったことは知っている。その時君のそばにいるのが僕でありたかった。
そうね、そこにいたのが二郎さんだったらどんなに良かったことか。
まだ誰も死んでない。
これから殺すわ。
東京には君の黒幕もいれば、それと対立する黒幕もいるが、ほとんどの上層部は今回の件をうやむやにして終わらせたいと思っているはずだ。高野さんはもう全てが手遅れだと思っているだろうけど、まだなんとかなるんだ。まだ取り返しがつく。なかったことにできる。
そうして祖父が築き上げたひなみ沢症候群の研究もなかったことになるのね。
高野さん、君は何がどうなれば満足だったんだい。それで君は満足なんだね。
ええ、満足よ。それが高野美代の生を受けた理由だから。
前に聞いたね。なら君はこの作戦が終わったら消えてしまうわけだね。高野美代の目的は達せられ、地上からなくなり、君は本当の君に戻るんだ。田無美代子。それが本当の君の名前のはず。
そうね、私はもうすぐ田無美代子に帰るのね。
田無美代子という少女は両親を失って施設に送られた。そしてそこで不幸のどん底に落ちて死んだ。君はそう言ったね。
ええ、言ったわ。私はあの日のあの暗闇の中に戻らなければならない。二郎さんは経験ある？もう一度あそこに戻って、今度はおじいちゃんに助けられずに死ぬの。そうすれば私はここにいない。私がいなければ入り駅感もなく、こんな妙な運命の行き止まりに迷い込むこともなかった。
君は死ぬ気だね。
作戦が終わったらいろいろとご覧になることになってるけど、あまり信じてない。ある日突然ホームでドンと突き落とされるんじゃないかしら。
君には心を許せる味方はいないのか。
クライアントは所詮クライアント、味方じゃないわね。でも山犬は味方よ。彼らが私の靴を舐めたくなるくらいの金を弾んでやったからね。
でも心は許せないんだ。
味方はあなたを捕らえ、今から R たちも捕らえようとしている。私の役に立ってくれてるわ。
それは今の君に必要な味方じゃない。
そうね、今の私に必要な味方じゃない。ジローさん、山犬は何億円かのお金で転んでくれたわ。まだ私の手元には1億ちょっと残ってる。あなたはいくら払えば転んでくれるの？
君が一番欲しいものがいくらで買えるかを考えてみるといい。
こんな時にキザな例えだこと。お金では買えないって言わせたいのね。
諦めるんだ。山犬は飼いならせても僕は飼いならせない。
それを転ばせたいと言っているの。あなたが望むならお金だけじゃない、何でも与えるわ。私の髪の毛一本からつま先の先端まであなたのものにしていい。靴を舐めろと言うなら今この場で舐めてもいいわ。それでもまだ足りない。あなたより毎朝早く起きて朝食を作るわ。待ち合わせ場所には必ずあなたより先に来る。二度とあなたを待たせて試すような真似をしない。それでもダメなの、ジローさん。
Is this moving or something? I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say?
高野よ。そう、分かったわ。今すぐ行くわ。 R が発見されたわ。入江の発信機の反応も一緒。街道が封鎖されていることを知ってて山中を徒歩で脱出するつもりのようね。山狩りには手こずりそうだけど人目がないのは私たちに好都合だわ。じゃあね、なんとなくこれがあなたとできた最後のおしゃべりになるような気がする。最後にあなたから言葉がもらえなくて残念よ。
I know this is a quieter than usual because I normally am reading these out, but
連中をはじめ近くの山中に出現し村中に出たようです。村人に接触して助けを求めようとしたのかもしれませんが、偵察車両の1台が逃走車の一部と R を発見追跡。一時期 R と発信機は別行動しましたが地図の山中で合流しました。
チリジリになったのが合流できたということ？
ええ、連中は逃走路について十分な打ち合わせをしてやがったんちゅうことでしょうな。山の中なら地の利があると踏んでやがるに違いない。ブッシュが深ければ武器の効果は激減する。あの空手野郎の考えそうなことですんで。
今度はもう逃がせないわよ。ひなみ沢でならともかく沖宮に入られたらもうどうにもならない。
ええ、分かってます。向こうに地の利がある山中とあっちゃこちらも躊躇したらアウトですわ。全力投球でいきましょう。全般で包囲圧殺します。聞こえてるな全般。こいつはサッカーだ。敵はゴールエリアに侵入してる。 ゴールは沖宮だ。絶対に許すな。特にあの空手野郎だ。あいつは許さねえ。俺の獲物だ。絶対に仕留めてやる。
大鳥了解。
ウグイス了解。ヒバリ了解。
白鷺了解。
行くぞ。山犬の総力戦だ。こいつがしくじればうちらは積まれてゲームオーバーだ。
その通りよ。もう後がない。私も出て陣頭指揮を取るわ。富武はここに置いていっても大丈夫。
大丈夫ですんね。完全武装の保安隊員が8人もおりますんね。その倍の完全武装兵が来てもしのぎます。それよりも問題なのはあの空手野郎です。奴を侮ることはできませんぜ。
隊長、前半作戦開始位置に到着しました。
さすがに展開が早いぜ。サンサ、全班にありがたい訓示を頼みます。
高野よ、R だけは生かして捕らえること。他は殺してしまっても構わないわ。この山から逃がしてはダメ。この山で今日の戦い全てに決着をつけるのよ。
ウグイス、ヒバリ、白鷺、山狩りを開始しろ。大鳥はゴールキーパーで予備兵力を務める。緊急展開が可能なように常時待機しろ。
大鳥セブン了解。
さあ、おっ始める。
おこのぎ、山狩りってのは普通どのくらいの人数がいるの？
一概には言えませんが、多ければ多いほどいいでしょうな。山犬の人数じゃ全員集めても全く足りません。
でも向こうも少人数なんだからそう不利な条件じゃないでしょ。ほらよく言うじゃない、守備を崩すには3倍の兵力がいるって。こっちはさらにその倍以上いる。
まあ数万の兵力の場合ならそういう数式になるでしょうね。
なら今回の山狩り、おこのぎはどれだけの兵力がいると見てるの？
何でもありってことでですか？
何でもありって意味がわからないけど、どのくらいが適正な兵力なの？
今朝の政治的奇襲も含めて向こうの指揮官は相当優秀です。そして火器取り扱いのベテランが最低2、近接格闘のベテランが最低1。
そこまでは認めるけど、あとは所詮子供でしょ。
あとは子供のようですが、多分ここに逃げ込んだからには彼らのテリトリーでしょう。地の利が十分な子供一人がよく訓練された強襲偵察隊一個小隊に匹敵しますので、サンサが考えてますより相当厄介な相手ですわ。
それを制圧するのにどの程度の兵力が必要だっていうの？
山岳歩兵が一個師団。ああ、師団ってのは山犬が3つ4つくっついて大隊、そいつがさらに3つ4つくっついて連隊、そいつがさらに3つ4つで師団ですんで。
30倍の兵力が必要だというの？
もちろんそれだけじゃ足りません。砲兵陣地に要請して山ほどの事前砲撃が必要ですわ。航空支援が得られるならファントムにナパームもばらまかせたいところですんで。
冗談じゃないわ。そんな兵力ここにはないわ。じゃあそれにはるかに満たない山犬で山狩りをしたらどうなるっていうの？
まあ楽じゃないでしょうな。連中のテリトリーでしょうが、逃げ込んだのはついさっきです。陣地もなけりゃトラップ設置の暇もないはずだ。地の利を生かすには時間が足りないはずです。
Dead chat. Ask you something? Have you played any visual novels?
イバリより本部、標的の一部を発見。R は視認できない。現在追跡中。
人質にできれば十分よ。 R がいなくても捕らえて。
ウグイス、聞こえるか？近隣の班を応援に回して退路を立て。
ウグイス了解。バックアップする。
そりゃそうだよね。退路を立ちたいよね。
No. Do it. Play one. Play, what should you play? You should play, I wouldn't even recommend starting with Subahibi. You should play Steins Gate. You should play Chaos Head and Steins Gate.
終了したベテラン歩兵が一個師団はいるね。それをせいぜい集隊規模でとはね。未熟にも程があるよ。さーて何人が私たちを相手にしてこの山を無事に降りられるかな。
Should. We are moral anti-realists here. Are we? I don't know if I am.
決まり ったヒバリ6が捻挫で追撃不能残りで追撃する
逃がすなよ。追って追って追いまくれ。休ませるんじゃねえ。
ヒバリ11トラップによる攻撃を受けたヒバリ12、13が多分脳震盪
I am.
あんなの当たりどころが悪かったら死んでるぞ
I don't think I am.
トラップにやられた光線が足に絡まって脱出できないナイフじゃ切断できない番線カッターを持ってきてくれウグイス戦より本部くそ誰が井戸を偽装した落とし穴だ隊員2名が閉じ込められて救出不能応援を送れやべどうしたウグイス戦応答しろウグイス戦ウグイス戦だやられた俺を後ろから突き飛ばしやがったウグイス9から11は井戸内健在なれど脱出不能本部よりウグイスバックアップが奇襲を受けた行動が読まれているぞ注意しろ
ウグイス1だ聞いていいかどうして動きが読まれるんだ上空に無人機の影はないぞ
イバリワンより本部追跡に失敗見失った無理だこの山トラップだらけだぞこの距離を追うだけで何人負傷しちゃってんだ
So how would you go about deciding what is good? Revelation, instinct. I don't know if it's something I can put into words, but I feel like it's something that's there. It's a very personal thing, though. I don't necessarily have a formulated philosophical position about it. For lack of a better word, though, I just see there's just some times where you sense it, and I feel like I have to, like, to the degree that anything is real, it is.
白鷺湾より本部 R を含む数名を発見した追跡している至急応援を送れ
I guess I could be a moral anti-realist in that I'm not a realist about a lot of things, but I don't put like morals and ethics as less real than certain other things that I also see as kind of being empty, to use the Buddhist formulation.
連中め少人数の利点を生かして分散しやがったか乱してトラップで絡め取ろってんだな白鷺は用心しろ向こうはお前らをトラップ地帯におびき寄せるつもりだ敵はカッコに分散し陽動と奇襲のゲリラ戦術で抵抗してくる気だ高度だぞすでに他班でトラップとアンブッシュで負傷者が多発している用心しろ気合い入れてかかれ白鷺ワン白鷺ワン
白鷺2より本部白鷺湾がトラップに誰か班長を吊るしてるロップを切れ残りを追撃しろ R を逃がすな
ウグイス1より本部
This song is so good.
ウグイス7たちが沈黙した
I don't remember hearing this one before.
襲撃にあった可能性が否定できない応援を送る許可を
白鷺5隊員3名が上空から降ってきたドラム缶の直撃を受けて混沌したなんなんだここはこんなのがまだまだあるってのか
ヒバリ13だやられて倒れてたようだ今一人発見した追跡するやろうよくもやってくれやがったな
よせやめろヒバリ13お前が一人で叶う相手じゃない
お兄さんこちらですわよ
クソガキが待ちやがれ
I don't know. I said I'm not sure I am. I kind of go back and forth. I'm not exactly committed to it yet. I guess I view morals as kind of connected and embodied with a lot of other knowledge to the degree that I don't think you can I'm not a full believer in like the is-ought gap, for example. Or at least I don't think it's, I don't think it's as wide of a gap as a lot of people do.
ひばり13だ。一人を広場みたいなところで追い詰めた。捕まえてやる。捕まえてやる。
こちらウグイス7。お前の後ろで吊るされてる男だ。そいつは少女じゃない。
I guess if you mean, do I think there's objective morals? I don't know if I'd use those words, but I feel like there is to the same degree that there are a lot of other objective statements.
そいつの後を追えば地獄まで誘い込まれるぞ。
本部よりひばり13。それで十分だ。応援を待て。今そこに最寄りの隊員を向かわせている。
I guess I would say I think there's good actions in the same way that there's like, you know. Oh, sure. I think that phrase comes from Hume, who basically says that, okay, when we try to define morals, we have a lot of statements we can make about what is and what ought to be the case. And Hume would argue that, you know, no matter how many is things we can define, we can never get from an is to an ought. That is, we can say things that are the case about the way the world is, like if I take this sandwich away from this starving man, he's going to die. Okay, that's an is statement, but that doesn't get me to the idea that I ought to give the sandwich to him or not take the sandwich away. I can say, if I punch someone, he will hurt, his face will hurt. But that isn't, I can't jump then to, I ought not to punch him. And I guess Hume just basically says that no matter how many is things we got, you know, I can do more on that. If I punch him, I will be fined. I will go to jail. His family will be sad. Like, these are all is statements that describe how things are in the world. And none of them are, but none of them are oughts. Oh, why do I not accept it? Because I think a lot of the way we understand is statements are conditioned by kind of subliminal oughts, or our oughts are kind of, I think the way we understand is and ought are kind of bound up with each other. At least that's my instinct. Again, don't hold me to this. I'm not sure I want to place it on this. But yeah, it's kind of, it's a little hard to... It's a little hard to give, because I think a lot of these are kind of below the level of language. But an example from Heidegger that Julian Young talks about is... so Heidegger had a kind of radical position that before the division of... before the reduction of being under Plato and Aristotle, we once lived in a world like there used to be no distinction between being and becoming, being and the ought, being and seeming, and being and the nothing, and all that. And he gives an example of like a chief of a tribe where the entire conception of what a chief is kind of bound up with the obligation to respect that chief. And I think when we understand some things like that, we might not use that particular example. But when we understand, I would say, like, maybe what is a way that a plant can get water? Well, we understand how its roots are constructed and how its roots feed into it and how its roots optimize its ability to get water to feed. And I think that there's kind of a idea in there of this is how a plant should behave. This is how a plant should exist. And it's not to say that these are permanent and static and fixed forever. I just think these are often very connected. Like a lot of the times whenever we describe what it is for humans to exist in society, we have some unconscious kind of oughts of like what human nature should be like, even when we understand certain ones as being bad, like humans being selfish in certain ways. At least this is I'm speaking off the I'm kind of spitballing right now, and I don't know if I'd stand by this forever. I think about that sometimes. There's a philosopher named Philippa Foot who talked about this, where she tried to, she made a case for a kind of moral realism, where she said that when we call an action good, it might be the same way we call, like, roots of a plant good, or call a staircase good, where there is something there, there's a something of how the thing is that isn't quite as what do you call it? As vulgar as you know, an ought statement, because a staircase, you know, doesn't have a staircase can't take actions, but we can still say what makes a staircase good is for it to have some function that allows for it to be walked on well. And I guess in the human case, this is kind of an old Aristotle idea, and the human function being good is what allows for eudaimonia, or human flourishing. We immoralists. Descriptive ought? Maybe, I don't know. I guess it's a matter of definition. Read much Nietzsche? Not as much as I would like to. He's one of my big blind spots. I've read decent passages for my Heidegger research, but I haven't read anything from cover to cover.
Hibari 13. 切り株だ。ボセヒバリ13。さっき根っこで足を縛られてたウグイス8だ。切り株はきっと罠だ。辺りは切り株だらけというのがうさんくさい。聞こえるか？ヒバリ13。ブッシュは危険だ。草むらは踏むな。むき出しの土もやばい。くそだね。どこを踏めばいいんだよ。空を飛んでけってのかよ。
まだいらっしゃいませんよ。
Yeah.
私退屈ですから。
Of course, I'm familiar with a lot of his positions and arguments and famous passages.
こちらスマキにされて転がっているウグイ今標的の一人にその 頭を蹴られている。それがトラップフィールドだと言ってるぞ。その待ち構えてる小娘の最高傑作が設置されているらしい。
I love her too.
油断するな。
Seems to me like you try a different definition, but the ought in that definition just has a different meaning than in the case of ethics. Yeah, I don't know. It's, my instinct is to say that they don't have as different a meaning as you might be inclined to think. But, and that the goodness of it kind of exists naturally. Without necessarily being owned by a subject. But I'd want to think about this more before I go into it. These are just kind of immediate reactions I'm having, and I might change my mind if I thought about them enough. That's definitely interesting. Anyway, bye-bye. Heading out? Alright, I'll see you later. I probably won't be streaming too much longer.
それは大した自信じゃねえか。もし俺が5歩何もなく歩けたらどうするつもりだ。
そうですわね。私の敗北を認めて降参して差し上げてもよろしくってよ。私今日は最高にトラップ脳が絶好調ですの。あなたを5歩で絡め取ってご覧に入れますわ。
クソガキ！
I like Deleuze's reframing of ethics as totally separate from morality, examining the mode of existence that makes actions possible instead of judging from the standpoint of the good. That's interesting. I don't know much about that. Takes that from Spinoza. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see how that makes sense, because based on what I know about Spinoza, Spinoza didn't believe in free will. So I guess his understanding of ethics and morality might be colored by that.
落ち着け、ひばり13。挑発に乗るな。
そいつは悪魔だ。外見に騙されるな。そいつは人の心を読むぞ。俺たちの叶う相手じゃねえ。
本部よりひばり13、深追いするな。十分だ。近くまでウグイスが応援に来ている。その場で耐えろ。
それじゃ俺の負けってことじゃねえかよ。
Standing reserve always felt weird to me because I feel that everything can be called that. Not very versed very well in philosophy, but even wondering would be calculating in some way. Might be too reductive. Perhaps. I think Heidegger's point was never that standing reserve is inherently bad. Because if you read the question concerning technology, he really doesn't make a big deal out of... I mean, he talks about standing reserve, but he doesn't... The real problem, he says, is what's called inframing. Where he says, the problem is not that things can be viewed as standing reserve, but that it's impossible to view things as anything but standing reserve in the extreme of technological dominance. Also, thanks for tuning in.
男が何度もくどいですわね。愛のささやき以外は男は一言で十分です
のガキゃひばり13読まれるぞ劇場は思考を読まれるぞ
Yeah, do it. Heidegger's great.
落ち着けクールになれひばり13そうさ俺はひばりの13番ミントみたいにクールなのが得意さだから熱くならずによく
Husserl is so boring. I've never read Husserl, so I can't say one way or the other.
そうさ俺の思考はすでに絡め取られていた奴に向かって5歩進まなければならないって時点で思考を絡め取られてたぜ
ほほう、それはどういう意味でございますの？
前じゃねえ後ろに5歩歩くんだよ
だからあなたは5歩でおしまいなんですのよ。
Uh-oh.
ひばり13沈黙あのバカすっかり乗せられやがって
The traps finally paid off. Good! Abso-fucking-lutely Rika, without even a question. And then Satoko's number 2. Well, Hanyu's really good too, but I kind of see her as an extension of Rika. Hey now. Reina's a good character. She grew on me. Mion's my favorite, but she's the only one not to get her own chapter. Yeah, that is a little sad. I see her as similar to Mayushi. She looks kind of stupid on the surface, but she's actually has kind of she's very understanding and kind of maybe has her head on most straight. I mean, yeah, Keiichi is the best male character, if we're saying that, but we ain't talking about males here. I'm not. Although there really aren't many other male characters who are as in-depth as Keiichi. I guess you could say Akasaka, but even Akasaka feels a little more flat. I was close sometimes, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I can't think of any male characters who have as much in-depth as Akasaka, but even in Akasaka's chapter, they don't go too in-depth. I guess Oishi would be the next, and Irie too.
ひばりは損害は大きいが我が方は確実に敵の行動権を狭めているぞ。
I mean, Akasaka's not a bad character or anything, just kind of.
撤退は認めない。現状兵力で戦線を維持せよ。
ヒバリワンより全員本部から死ねと命令だ。装備を再点検しろ。進軍を再開するぞ。
でも高野さんたちは頭に血が上ってるからそれを許可しない。指揮官は撤退を却下され、士気が低下したまま追撃を再開。
Satoshi, I didn't feel like. Oh, thank you for the sub. I didn't feel like Satoshi was too developed.
こいつは叩く絶好のチャンスだね。リカちゃん、レナと合流して Z 地区に誘い込んで。
And Mahjong, they fucking drilled that into my head.
あそこのトラップはだいぶごっついよ。羽生はケイちゃんに X 地区に転戦しろと連絡を。こんな面白いゲームはないね。
ミオンが絶好調なのです。今のミーが生まれる時代を間違えていたら歴史に名を残しかねないのです。
私に言わしゃ、ネルソンも東郷もまあまあってとこだね。
Nerusun and Togo?
もう裏山全体が手に取るようだよ。
Mahjong scenes are so good. I don't know. I don't play Mahjong. I tried to learn it. I couldn't get the hang of it. So I zone the fuck out whenever there's Mahjong scenes in anime or whatever. Which still makes me mad that show Saki had such cute girls and it was all about fucking Mahjong.
「行きましょう。こちら側をフォローするカメラは故障中ですから大丈夫です。」
こんなとこから堂々と？うわ、怖いね。
敵は監視をセキュリティに依存しきってるようです。問題ないでしょう。
行きましょう。まずは壁沿いに伝え、所長室の裏へ。
はい。私が出るとき窓は閉めませんでしたからまだ開きっぱなしでしょう。そこから入るとすぐ脇が裏口で、そこには監視カメラと1階保安室があり、今日は2名が常駐しているはずです。四角角前は厳重に監視カメラで見張られていますので必ずバレるでしょう。
地下に行く前にその1階の2人を制圧しないとね。退路確保は基本でしょ。
まずは所長室から入って1階保安室。
こが1階保安室、出てすぐそこです。監視カメラはこの赤鉛筆がそうです。
1階保安室の制圧自体は難しくなさそうだ。問題は地下ですね。
これが地下の研究区画です。ここが入り口。図面では表向きは職員用の2階への階段になっていますが、実際は地下区画への入り口が隠されています。そして階段で地下へ。
よくもこんな大きな地下を作ったものです。地上部分よりもよっぽど広いですね。
それは地下こそがこの診療所の真の姿である証拠です。
で、これが監督の認証カードでないと入れない扉。認証カードが封印されて使えなくなってるなんてことは？
認証カード、パスカード。
万一認証カードが使えない場合にゲートの物理的突破は可能？
非常に厳重な扉で、証拠隠滅時にはそれを閉じてから内部に注水して封鎖する決まりになっています。
I really like this song. This song always sounds like it should be like in Deus Ex or something to me.
ということは秘密扉か。この容積を満たす水圧に耐えるということは相当に頑丈だ。
ってことは認証カード以外の方法では不可能ってことだね。
一般用の認証カードは個別の登録抹消が可能なはずですが、私と高野さんの認証カードは商工用の特別カードと聞いています。登録抹消には各個に設定した8桁のパスワードが必要ですから、事実上彼らには抹消できません。
将校自らが不法使用することは想定していないということですね。
それでもダメな時は1階保安室の人間に開けさせましょう。保安要員のカードなら将校の次に強力なはずです。
素直に協力してくれるとは思えませんが。
協力しないならカードと指紋認証用に指を1本ちょんと拝借するまでです。
そうしたくはないですね。私のカードで開くことを祈るばかりです。
地下のセキュリティルームはどれです？
認証カードで入ってすぐ脇のこの部屋です。この部屋には空調もテレビもありますから、基本的に保安の方はそこに全て詰めています。上で2人をやっつければ残りの6人がいるはずです。
6人か。一気に制圧しないと難しいね。一瞬で制圧しないとほぼ確実に警報を鳴らされる。先に警報を切断する方法は？
ちょっとわかりませんが、予備電源や予備回線があるはずです。
現実的じゃないか。セキュリティルームを制圧する方が現実的ですね。保安の連中の武装は
？1階の保安は非武装ですが、1階保安室には一応銃が置かれているという話で、地下の保安は全員が拳銃を携帯しています。あとセキュリティルームにはもっと強力な連発式の銃が何丁か置かれていたはずです。
屋内での用途から考えて多分口径の短い機関拳銃のようなものでしょう。長距離での命中率はひどく落ちますが、小回りが利き近距離では十分な火力を持つ危険なものです。
地下で撃ってきた連中 MP5 でしたし、そいつが何丁持ってのはちょいと厄介ですね。でもここを制圧できれば地下は。
Hello, MRVJ.
監督、サトシ君は？
Thanks for stopping in. I'm probably going to stop in the next 10 minutes or so, but happy to see you.
本当は動かしたくないところですが、敵の巣の中に放置はできません。サトシ君も安全なところに移しましょう。私の付き添いも必要です。
サトシ君はどの部屋にいるんです？
この奥の病室に。そこは去年から彼専用の部屋になっています。
サトシ君。
I want to finish my 2 last drawings for headers on my site today, so I can eventually move on to more technical stuff like setting up a site-hosted guest book, and then eventually videos, and then eventually a stream, and then eventually a forum. Favorite scene in Higu? That's hard to say. I really liked the entire end of Chapter 7. I liked a lot of the last scenes in Chapter 3. And I liked... I really liked the scenes where Rika in witch mode confronts people who don't know what's going on early on. Like the one where she confronts Akasaka, and then the other one where she confronts Reina in Chapter 6. Those are the ones that stick out most. How about yourself? That's a good one. Yeah, that scene was crazy.
両手を頭の上へ。
ここまでは順調ですね。
Yeah.
問題は地下です。監視カメラで。
Yeah, that phone scene was very powerful. But in Chapter 7, I still have to say the ending with Hanyu is really what stuck out most to me.
画面は4分割？
確かそうだったと思います。よくある防犯カメラの画面です。
ってことは解像度は良くないですね。なら私いい手を思いつきました。
シオンさん、捕虜の虐待はあまり良くないのでは？
Yeah, that one was really good.
「大鳥湾より大鳥、休憩時間は終わりだぞ。俺たちも出撃する。壊滅した白鷺のポジションを埋めるんだ。味方の損害率はすでに致命的状況だが、敵は確実に後退を重ねてすでに包囲されつつある。もう一息だ。温存した大鳥で一気に圧殺する。陣頭指揮はサンサが直接取られるそうだ。俺も出るぞ。これで決着させる。おい、隊長が出るぞ。大鳥も上がる。総力戦だ。
なんて奴らだ。ってことはすでに被害は小隊規模にもなるって。
俺たちは何者を相手にしてるんだよ。相手はどこの特殊部隊だってんだ。
おい、入江首相だぞ。
何？ これ所長だよ。どういうことだ。
そういうことか。分かったぜ。向こうは陽動でこいつらが富武救出に忍び込もうとしたってことだ。
Just royalties free stuff Yukishi just borrowed? That's pretty nuts.
三佐に所長を連行したと連
I
絡
didn't
した。
know that. Yep.
ん？
I see. Well, I will say that the answer arcs do have better music, but the question arcs have some really good music as well. Enough that I wouldn't have guessed that there was that difference.
でも敵は全員この中、袋のネズミです。この部屋に釘付けにしているうちにサトシ君と富武さんを救出しちゃいましょう。
そうだ。
I think the background images are as integral as the original sprites. I like them. I don't know if I'd say they're quite as integral, but like I do like them more than these personally. The only ones that are a little weird are the ones with real people in them, because that just sticks out a little too much. But in general, I've always had a soft spot for VNs and stuff that have real photo backgrounds. Like, I love the look of Tsukihime 2, for example.
エントランス区画にて緊急事態が発生しました。問題が解決するまで研究施設内の全区画は緊急閉鎖されます。エントランス区画のスタッフはセキュリティルームに集合し、防毒マスクを着用してください。保安隊員の指示に従ってください。120秒後に研究区画およびエントランス区画には鎮圧用ガスの自動散布が行われます。繰り返します。
どうやら2分以内に制圧して警報を解除しないとヤバいことになりそうだな。
鎮圧用ガスって何ですか？毒ガス？
Yeah, that's one of the best. No voice acting for these? Okay.
Indoor インドアの基本はグレネードか。くそ、そんなのないって。
焦って飛び込めば蜂の巣です。どうすればいいんだ。
サトシ君は目前だというのに悔しい。
皆さん、 私に任せてもらいましょう。
All right, what's going on?
マグナム。違う、スラックだ。
ご名答です。こいつは人間を撃つ弾じゃありません。威力は皆さんほどならすでにご存知でしょう。
So I can say both your Heidegger videos help me a lot. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Carpos Entropy. That's always good to hear.
「あなた方を粉々にできることがご理解できたはずです。死にたくなかったら警報を切っていただきましょう。
落ち着け。もうじきガスが出る。それまでの辛抱だ。
その前に皆さんが内臓をぶちまけることになるとはお考えが至りません。時間がありません。5秒でケツを取ります。5つ数えて警報が切れなければ覚悟していただきます。
どうする？ガスまでまだ60秒くらいあるぞ。
焦るな。向こうだってビビってるんだ。飲まれるんじゃねえ。
おい、人が親切に言ってるのに聞いてねえのか。この葛西達義がてめえらを生かしてやると言ってんだ。ありがてえとは思わねえのか、ガキどもが。お前ら俺を舐めてんのか。ああ、返事せんか、ガキどもが。最初にミンチになりてえのは誰だ。てめえがこら。さっき上等決めやがったのはてめえがこら。
違う降伏する。撃つな。
何いつまで茶化ひけらかしてんだこら。殺されてえかオリサイ。てめえとは築いてきた屍の山の高さが違うんじゃボケ。
すんません、勘弁してください。
Okay, next clean break into the scenes. I see I'm gonna end the stream. Even though this is so exciting, I want to get back to some drawing.
昼寝始めてんだこら。マスク剥がされてガス吸わされてえのか。とっとと警報を止めろクソガキ。
ですうずら
あんた
こんな真似は二度としないつもりでしたが、緊急措置でした。忘れてください。急ぎましょう。どの道すでに警報は鳴らされています。長居はできません。
そうですね、急ぎましょう。
サトシ君
Yeah, the piano's really good.
.すみません、頼みます。
1、2、3、4、5。
くそ、やってくれますね所長。
ごめんなさい。私サトシ君のことで頭がいっぱいだった。
Look at your site, it's really interesting. There's a special atmosphere on it. Thank you. Really love it. Also, I see your videos on your favorite movie. How long does it take you to write such a video? You mean my video reviews? I don't know. Less than the philosophy reviews, usually, for sure. Just depends on the movie. Maybe like a couple hours. But usually I'm thinking about stuff for these videos and talks over weeks and weeks before I feel I have enough to make one.
さて所長、月並みで恐縮ですが、他の侵入者ともども武装解除してもらいましょう。さっきのとんでもない音は相当でかい銃を持ち込んでますね。撃たれたらたまりませんので。
Okay, I need to find a stopping place here. This chapter is extremely long. I feel like this might be one of the last ones. I'm really enjoying it. I am going to read more off stream, but I want to call it a stream here so I can finish drawing some of my headers. I have